Everyone. I'm super excited to be here today. So the National Art School Library, or NAS as I'll refer to it, is located on Gadigal land in Sydney, and we have a lot of books on drawing, fitting for one of Australia's leading contemporary fine art schools. NAS follows a studio-based model of education with drawing practice really central to it. So when a student unfamiliar with the library recently stepped in to ask, "Do you have a book on drawing?" I had to gently extricate from him what he actually meant. Some examples of Chinese ink painting. A telling illustration of the nuanced work of the art librarian, translating creative curiosity into meaningful resources. NAS has a student population of around 600. It offers bachelor, master's and doctoral degree programs, and it teaches across painting, drawing, print media, sculpture, ceramics and photography. And it also offers a vibrant art history and theory program. Our campus is the old Darlinghurst Jail, which you can see there on the right-hand side, which was converted to a teaching institution in 1922. And you'll see our beautiful library building there on the left. As a small library, we're able to be responsive to the curriculum and to campus life. So we adapt to students. What is of interest to them is of interest to us. We have rotating thematic and new book displays. We manage a healthy Instagram profile as our main channel of communication. We hold a variety of special collections, and we also run a popular library stairwell gallery for student exhibitions. In fact, probably not dissimilar to the micro gallery that we've just heard about. The NAS Library is one of the few remaining specialist art libraries in a tertiary institution in Australia. We have a dynamic and creative team with visual arts backgrounds and a manager, Lee Simpson, there, who you'll see photoshopped very badly into my slide. She wasn't there at the time I needed to take the photo, and she's great. She just says yes to most of our ideas. So today I'll give a very brief overview of 3 particular programs we run, which demonstrate how we embed library into school life through instruction, creativity and community. So firstly, the first program is Information as Inspiration, which is a 90-minute activity-based workshop delivered to second-year undergraduate students as part of their studio theory seminar. It was developed in response to 2 key observations. Firstly, after years of working with visual arts students, I noticed the difficulty many faced in translating their thoughts and ideas into language suitable for search databases, like the drawing book example. While they could navigate research for art history and theory essays, research for studio practice, or what the US Information Literacy Framework might call strategic exploration, it was a different challenge. Many students appeared to experience library anxiety and had a limited understanding of what research could be within the context of the studio. Secondly, a brief stint as an object-based learning or OBL librarian at the University of Sydney introduced me to the power of objects to spark curiosity and critical thinking. Now, OBL is typically tied to special collections, yet I saw potential for its principles, particularly its emphasis on materiality, to support interdisciplinary information literacy instruction within an art studio context. At the same time, I read this article here by Leo Appleton et al., and I know many of you here, I'm sure, are familiar with this group of authors. And I was especially inspired by Abigail Jones's case study called Unpacking Barbie, where she uses Barbie dolls to prompt critical inquiry and visual literacy. As a result of these ideas, along with this compelling object-based learning infographic from Flinders University Museum in Adelaide, I developed Information as Inspiration after becoming research librarian at the National Art School in 2022. The workshop draws on Jones's Barbie concept, expanding it with further everyday objects, items not directly tied to contemporary art practice, but which function as possible cultural signifiers. And these objects act as springboards for inquiry. Now, using objects to generate keywords serves 2 purposes. It helps students build the vocabulary needed to search effectively, and it also equips them with language to describe and reflect on their own practice. The workshop was first piloted with the print media curriculum in their second year studio seminar, and after the lecturer described it as gold, it gradually rolled out to 3 additional departments. And now in its third year, the workshop has evolved through multiple iterations. And if you're interested in the mechanics of the workshop, I do have a poster presentation over there on the right, and please do come and have a chat. I'd love to talk to people about your experiences of object-based learning if you're doing that with your students. The next program is the Artist Book Annual. So the library started an artist book collection in 2022 as a teaching resource and an acknowledgement of the role of books in the history of artistic production. This led to the development of the Artist Book Annual, an exhibition and award run in our library stairwell gallery. It follows a semester-long embedded artist book curriculum in the library, developed in collaboration with the print media and drawing departments, during which time multiple classes engage hands-on with the collection. And that's just our collections page of our artist book collection in Primo. Students in these courses go on to produce artist books in a very expanded sense, as you will see in the images. They make zines and book-like objects, which they can then submit for inclusion into the exhibition. However, many students across all departments at NAS engage independently with bookmaking of some description. And as a result, our exhibition showcases work from every studio department and all years of the degree program. So last year, 10% of the student population applied, and we exhibited 37 works. So we were so happy about that. Now, there are 3 main award categories: undergraduate, postgraduate, and a drawing-specific prize. And winners receive a small cash amount plus 5 years free library membership post-graduation. Plus, it's acquisitive, so our artist book collection continues to expand. The exhibition inspires ongoing creativity around the book as object, really incredible engagement with the library, support of student creativity, and acknowledgement of student work. However, fundamentally, it's a celebration of the book, its pages and leaves, its relationship between text and image, its intimate time-based reading experience, and its conceptual, narrative, aesthetic, and sculptural potential. The NASLABA is a highlight of the library stairwell gallery program for both staff and students. The final program, Curated Collections, is a community event based around a thematic collection of books. So library staff collaborate with academic staff on a topic of current research interest or expertise. And we curate a selection of materials from our main and special collections to view and discuss. So taking place around a large communal table in the library during lunchtime, we gather and share stories, insights, and knowledges inspired by the books around us. These gatherings are a fantastic opportunity to engage students with the collection and illustrate the value of library and books in the life of the artist. When students see their teachers, who are all practicing artists themselves, engaging with this rich print material, it serves to champion the book. And in an age where many students arrive at art school without a connection to print or an understanding of the depth of knowledge and image quality it offers, this can be transformational, and many students leave with a book under their arm. The gathering also provides an opportunity for students to meet others in the degree program who they wouldn't usually encounter, fostering both interdisciplinary and intergenerational engagement. So some of the themes, and these are the posters that we make for each of these events. So we've covered the artist monograph, art and the Anthropocene, Asian Australian artists, outsider art. This year we've had a very popular one on textiles and one on birds. Oh, I've lost some of my slides there. Anyway, so I'll just continue on. That's not my slide, that one. No, they're not my slide. Anyway, we also had one, so I'll just sit on this slide then. We had one also, the maternal turn, very recently, which was in collaboration with the local gallery that had an exhibition on art and motherhood. And we have one coming up very soon on sound art. So these three programs are a small but important example of how the library embeds itself in the student experience at the National Art School and instills in students a lifelong relationship to libraries and, crucially, I think, librarians. Art librarians need to have many of the same traits which artists do: creativity, curiosity, criticality, adaptability, and, of course, creative problem-solving skills. And in writing this, I've been really struck by the realisation that as much as the collection, it's the librarians who also make the art library. And the NAS library runs on a lot of people, energy, intellect, generosity and passion, from stack to studio. Thanks.